All right, so welcome back to another episode of Aren't You Glad I Said It? The Aren't You Glad I Said It podcast. This is Brandon, your host as usual. Um, Bit of a different change for the setup. So just shooting a quick video right now to just let you guys know this is probably going to be the new format for just like solo videos, things like that, versus podcasts. I am working on a space for podcasts so we can be able to do that in a comfortable environment. However, you might see it also in this setup. It's a lot, it's more room to this than what's shown here. And so we might have some guests and do some back and forth and things like that. But right now, really, I just wanted to test the set out, testing the sound. You see, I got the microphone here set up with the MIDI and everything. And so, really, just kind of gauging what it looks like to have this setup going. And, you know what I mean? What the feel is. This way, I can be able to, it's like off camera, but right here is my monitor. I got my keyboard and everything in front of me so that I can be able to like grab articles, videos, or whatever if I want to play something and be able to, show it to you guys, things like that. That way we can just dissect some stuff. Right now I'm also testing out, so excuse me, not the internal mic on the camera, but on the A6400 I have the Rode mic with the dead cat, and we're gonna see how the audio is there. Like in my I'm not screaming right now. I'm talking in like a regular voice. I don't want to have to scream, and so to be heard. So that's what the mic here is for. So, oh man, this joint just froze. It just had a freeze error. I think I literally have to shut it off. Look at that. Our freaking uh, first error. I don't even know what's going on with this thing. It's crazy. I'm just gonna pull a power cord on it. A right error. How crazy is that? That actually happened during one of our podcasts. This is like, man, this is like episode 4 or 5, and we were just shooting, and it was so crazy. You guys probably didn't know, of course, because I didn't say it, but we shot the whole like it was probably at least a 30-minute segment, and let that boot up. We shot the 30-minute segment, and then right after, at the end, of course, you go check everything. Like, all right, I'm gonna check the video footage. I'm gonna check the audio footage, make sure everything's like it looks good. Wouldn't you know it? It freaking had this right error thing on here, and super annoying. So I'm gonna hit record again on it and see, because I still do want to test the sound out. So I'm gonna go a little bit more. But yeah. So thank goodness this wasn't at 30 minutes, because if it was 30 minutes, it would have legitimately been like one of those oh my gosh moments, like where I feel like I think we all in the moment it kind of took the wind out the sails, but in actuality, in hindsight, it was so crazy because we were all talking about it and it worked out better. Like we ended up shooting it again, and when I personally, because I have reviewed the footage before I posted it, when I looked at it and compared the two, it wasn't that it was necessarily the conversation was better. Everything felt more relaxed, right? And it's interesting because I had told everybody before when we first started doing the podcast, I was like, the first probably like 20 to 30 episodes, maybe even up to 50, we'll just be doing for like fun. It'll probably only be seen by us, some friends and family, things like that. But it'll give us that chance to rhythm it out, like get our rhythm going. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I think it's like anything you do. You start doing it, you won't necessarily be the greatest at doing it. You do it some more, and it starts becoming second nature, right? And that's to me what talking on camera is like, because when you play it back, I swear, for anybody out there who's thinking, oh, you just shoot a video and then you upload it to the computer and then boom, you're done. It's so not just that at all. It's making sure audio's right, making sure the angle's right, making sure stuff is in frame, the camera's in focus, because I'm using a manual lens. And I never really talk about that. And maybe I'll do a video on my manual lens, explaining what it entails. What else? It's a lot of stuff going into it. And I'm not even a super editor, meaning like I catch flaws in everywhere, not even. So it's like it's so much more than just point, shoot, upload. Not to mention the work that goes into thinking about a topic in the first place. right? Topics, that's probably like the easiest thing because you could just use current events. You could use a philosophical topic. You could use the gender specific topic or ethnic specific topic. They go on for days. So that's like the easiest part is thinking of like, hey, you know what? Turn the camera on. What am I going to talk about? But how you talk about it? Are you pronouncing words incorrectly? Are you saying the wrong thing? We had an episode where somebody used the word and they didn't know if it was offensive to someone. They were using it in context to try to explain something, right? Or an event. And then they were like, wait a minute, is that now an offensive word? Like how the word retarded. I think retarded is now an offensive word. Whereas before, I think it was in like the medical dictionary for psychology or whatever. You know what I mean? So words change, or the effective words change over time, which is understandable. Whatever it is, the goal is not to offend people. So that's something you really have to think about when you're making videos because people get offended about everything these days. And the worst thing you want, or the thing you don't want to do, is try to create something that one speaks to you, speaks to the audience, but you don't want to fall into that category of offending some people, even if it gains you some audience members. And that's my personal philosophy. Like my goal isn't to harm, uh, you know, harm anyone's emotions based on what I'm saying. If the truth is harming you, though, I don't really have much for that one because that's kind of the angle I'm trying to go in life in general. So if the truth is not your thing, this is not gonna be the channel for you anyway. But we up to like 4 minutes, so I'm gonna test the audio out, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me on this one, man. I'm gonna take a look at the footage and I'm gonna start doing those things that I just laid out, the checking the vocals, everything. I might even do a test where I show, when I start speaking, stop and just put the words on the screen and let y'all know, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. Which vocals sound better through the mic or if through the Rode mic, if that sounds better, because I also don't necessarily like the arm in the shot like this. I might figure out how to move that and finagle a little better, but in the meantime, I'm gonna leave it there and let it do what it do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Aren't you glad I said it? Peace.